some people know, not everyone knows, but I am a cancer survivor, and I at one point had was given very little time to live. Now I'm fine. I'm clear of all that now, but at one point in my life, I very much wasn't, and I really came. That really had me come to terms with this fear of death thing. I actually really don't fear death at all, but what
Whoa.
I do fear, because I was in a lot of times I was going through treatments that I felt were even worse than the disease, right? Um, my biggest fear is being forced to be alive when I don't want to be. That's the thing I fear the most.
Mm,
Like, so, that I will become sick or incapacitated, just like in some way, I'll want to stop existing, and
mm.
I have to keep existing, and that makes heaven or hell, doesn't matter which. If I don't have the ability to opt out when I'm done,
Yeah,
like that's horrific to me. Like,
yeah,
I would, sure, you want to tell me, hey, you're gonna love heaven for 6 million years. Great, awesome, but that's not forever, right?
yeah, yeah,
I was out for 6 million years. I did all the things, and then wait, I still have no fewer days left than when I
yeah.
started. If we can't opt out of this heaven or hell situation,
And this is
that for me, that's terrible.
where a lot of Christians will say things like, we have to trust God's got to, everything works out for good, and God's got a plan, and or just the kind of, to deal with those anxieties, you would say things like that. I really like, I really agree and like what Michael Jones says when he made a video about the Trinity. He said, is it beyond our comprehension? And he goes, yes, it is. And he goes, we have to accept that it is beyond our comprehension. And I was like, well, that's exactly the problem, is it is beyond our
Hmm.
comprehension. And I think just a lot of these problems, my old pastor used to say to me when I'd have like a question that was too hard for him to answer, he'd go, well, we can ask him when we meet him. And it's just like, well, great. Like that doesn't, what a non-answer.
I
Um,
also comedically sometimes, like, what's the lineup for Jesus going to look like? Can he be talking to all of us? Is it one question? You get your one question, you get back in line. I don't know. Like, we all want to ask them questions.
yeah.
Lots of
Or,
people want to say, "Oh, I want to ask Saint Peter this or Moses that." I'm like, they want to talk to Jesus. They don't want to talk to you. Who are you? Like,
yeah.
it's gonna be it's a whole thing.
or
Um,
like, is Jesus even at heaven yet? I said this to Michael O'Connor. I was like, Dr. Michael O'Connor. I was like, if he's lifted up into the clouds and he's like on his way to heaven when he disappeared into the clouds,
mhm.
unless he like sped up to faster than the speed of light, or he just disappeared and then reappeared in heaven, which doesn't really make sense why he would then lift up. Like, why couldn't he just done that on Earth? He's still traveling, because we can see 13 billion light years away, so he's still like, unless he's going faster than the speed of light, he's still traveling on his way to heaven. Unless heaven is like invisible and closer, like maybe heaven's in our solar system and it's like a.
So that's a good question. So light that left the light that left 2,000 years ago, would we still see? Because he'd be leaving, he'd be departing. Yeah, there's someone who's better than me at physics would be able to
Yeah.
tell me whether we'd be still be able to see.
Oh yeah, we could see. But he might be redshifted because he's going away. Maybe, like, I'm
Yeah,
sure we could.
I feel like
Maybe.
it's one of those things. I feel like it's just a sort of a stage left, exiting the stage kind of a situation. It's like
Mm,
once they couldn't see him anymore, then Jesus was in backstage part of
yeah,
the
yeah,
universe,
yeah.
and he could take off his costume and and do whatever it is he needed to, and
It's
get
possible.
get an Uber to heaven.
It's possible that when Jesus was flying past Jupiter, that he did drop
Hmm.
a teapot, and it is actually in orbit around Jupiter. Like, we don't know. It's possible. We don't know. We haven't
The
tested it.
Gospels did not record whether Jesus had a teapot when he left or not.
That's true.